I speak unto thee this day, and I say that I the living God am not pleased at all with the harlots who claim they are mine. That is, when you see these ones who deck themselves out as prostitutes, who behave themselves lower than street whores, who act as though they can make eyes at the world, make love with the world, and be pleasing unto me, I say I'm not pleased in them. For I say they are those who have sold their souls, they have sold their integrity for the sake of gain. That is, that they could gain the world, that they could gain the approval of men, that they could gain recognition for their great works. And all the while they are claiming they are laboring for me, but it is not true. For I say they are whores, they are harlots, they are adulterers before my eyes. That is, pursuing the course of that which I never intended, that which I never brought them unto. Pursuing the course of wantonness and carelessness, going in a way that I the living God never ever intended that my own people would pursue. Then I say they strut, they boast, they exhibit themselves as though it is my blessing on their lives. It is not my blessing, but it is the curse they have taken unto themselves, because they have looked unto, trusted in, and courted the arm of flesh. That is, they have sought for that which I never intended. They have made themselves a proud display, and oh yes, they are proud of the same. That is, they are ever boasting and strutting, they are ever exhibiting and showing off their great works they claim are from me. But I say they are nothing but a show of fleshliness and worldliness, an exhibition of their unfaithfulness unto me. And I say the very things they think are so wondrous, that they are so proud of, will stand against them in the judgment, and they will be condemned by the same. For I say they are nothing but harlots before me, because they have sold themselves out for naught. That is, they have given themselves to the cheapness of their own way, they have given themselves to the vanity, the stupidity, the darkness of the same. And I say, in the way that they've chosen, what do you think they do? They prove they are nothing but fools before me, because they have walked afar off from my way. Now I say that I the living God never called thee to walk afar off, to go in the way of empty-headed fools, and think somehow you are pleasing unto me. For I say it is not me that you are pleasing, not at all, but I say you are pleasing your own self. For I say, when you go in a way that I never intended, when you go in the way of empty-headed fools, what do you prove? You prove you are a fool likewise, and you prove you have no integrity in me. Now I say, in this wayward, corrupted, and evil generation, there are many who get eyes full of envy when they look at the harlots' parade. That is, when they look at the finery of the prostitutes who have sold themselves out for worldly recognition and gain, then they are envious and likewise want those things. But I say they are fools who are wanting nothing but the way of destruction, the way of damnation, in envying the harlots who are indeed snared in their traps. For I say that the harlots can never leave the entanglements they've put themselves in to achieve success in this world. That is, to be what is called religiously successful, when really they are nothing but damned. I say this day, do not be envious of the harlots, do not be envious of what it is that they claim that they have. For I say that their lives are full of falsehood and pretension. I say they are full of hypocrisy and mockery, because they have walked afar off from me. That is, they have gone in a way like a troop of harlots, whereby they are ever forced to display themselves. That is, in order to keep up the great support they must gain, in order to keep their kingdom and queendoms going, what must they do? I say that each day they must sport themselves, they must exhibit themselves, and brag on their great feats. That is, as though they were something special, when they are truly used and abused by the world. That is, because they have sold themselves out cheap and paid themselves to be harlots for hire, what do? I say they strut, they boast in emptiness, pretension, and futility, exhibiting themselves to be something they are absolutely not. Now I say that I the living God am not pleased in them, but I say they are thoroughly disgusting unto me. That is, because they have given themselves over to a way that I never intended, I say they are fools before me. And I say, because they have taken the cheap way, the world's way, they have given themselves to the arm of flesh, of course they are cursed in the same. And I say, for all of their finery, for all of their exhibitions, for all of their shows, they count as nothing before me. For I say, they are not seeking to gain my approval, they are not seeking to be well-pleasing unto me. But I say they are seeking to gain the approval of the world, and they love it so. And I say, while they look to be an exhibition of worldliness and gaudiness and vanity and foolery, I say they are proven to be nothing before me. And I say it is because they have chosen a way that I did not intend, and they've given themselves over to the same. Now I say that I, the living God, do not call thee to live in the vanity, the stupidity, the darkness of this age. But I say that I call thee to be coming forth in me, ever rejoicing in the truth, the light, the mercy that I give unto my own. And I say that I've called thee to be made glad, that it is me you are privileged to love, to serve, and obey day after day. For I say it is me, the living God, alone you are meant to please. It is me, the living God, and me alone you are meant to follow after and obey. Therefore I say this day, do not be quick nor eager to take up the ways of the world, to please the world, to sell yourselves for naught. For I say there are many who are now chained in the line of whores, who cannot escape from the same. And I say they are bound to pursue the course of harlotry, because they gave themselves over to become the slaves of the same. And I say they will sell themselves throughout their lives. They will paint their faces, they will exhibit their bodies, they will show what it is they are supposed to have, when really they have nothing at all except the oppression of their souls. For I say they've given themselves over, they have pursued the course of emptiness, futility, and darkness, and yes, they pay for the same. For I say that I, the living God, am not mocked, and whatsoever it is that men and women will choose rather than me, they will pay for the same. That is, when they choose the vanity, the vexation, the stupidity, the darkness of their own way, then I say they pay and they pay and they pay. That is, they pay because they have chosen to stray away from me. They have chosen the way of fools. And yes, they pay because they have exhibited themselves as harlots for hire, and now that is all they can do. For I say they are chained with everlasting chains, because they sold themselves for success as religious figures. They sold themselves to become kings and queens in this earth. And I say, because they sold themselves to the devil, the liar, the god of this world, I say they are chained to his game. And I say they cannot escape, they cannot free themselves, but I say they are bound by that which they chose above me. And I say they receive the reward of harlots, which is, of course, death, spiritual death. They have no life in me. But I say they put on their vain shows, their proud exhibits, and display themselves as though they are laboring for me. But I say that it is not true, for I am not their Lord nor their Master, and I say they refuse to be accountable unto me. Now I say they go on and on and on in their foolery, their vanity, their stupidity, their darkness, and oh, how ugly they are. And I say it is because they chose to stray from me, the author and the finisher of their faith. They chose to walk in a way that I never intended for them at all. And I say because of their choosing, they are the ones who are losing out with me. Now I say that I, the living God, did not intend that you would be losers and abusers of my way. But I say that I intended that you would be coming forth ever made glad for the truth, the light, the mercy that I give to thee. I say I intended that you would be thankful to look unto me, to believe in me, and partake of the truth and the light that I provide. But I say, because you stubbornly refused what it was that I had for thee, I say you've gone afar off from me. Now I say that I, the living God, do not find pleasure in harlots, for I say in the days of old they were stoned, they were put to death. That is, they were not approved in their harlotry. They were not recognized as ones who were faithful. They were not considered anything but those who were worthy of death. That is, in the sense that their sins were sins forbidden by me, and I say they had chosen that way of their own accord. I say they were outcast, they were put away because of their sins which were so vile in my sight. Now I say in this age that they are put in the forefront as though they are the ones found acceptable unto me. That is, their works to be done to be approved of men are passed off as works that I the living God ordained. But I say no, of a surety they are liars, deceivers, and messengers who are working for the evil one, even though they claim they are working for me. For I say, remember, they are pretenders sent forth to snare, to entangle and take men far from me. And I say, remember that the end of the harlot is the destruction of souls, for that is her goal. Now I say, when you look upon the parade of those who claim they are laboring for me, what do? I say they gain great riches, they sport themselves in the same, and I say they give themselves to immoral behavior in my sight. And I say all the while they are claiming they are my ambassadors, that they are laboring for my kingdom, but it is not true. For I say they are laboring for the kingdom of darkness, the kingdom of despair, and yes, they are loving it so. Now I say that I the living God do not call thee to keep company with harlots, nor to be envious of them. But I say that I call thee to come forth in the straight and narrow way, that I provide ever thankful for my way. For I say, if you will indeed be thankful for the way that I the living God have called thee unto, then you can be well-pleasing unto me. But I say, if you are going in the way of the harlots, if you are envious of them in all of their finery, their exhibitions of great wealth and fame, I say you are doing nothing but envying fools. For I say they have truly lost out with me. For I say they have chosen the approval of man, and I say, yes, they will pay for the same. And I say they have chosen the road that will take them to the despair, the futility, the loss of their own souls. Now I say, in a wayward, a corrupted, and evil, and perverse generation, consider that I the living God do offer to thee the way of my life, that you can indeed be coming forth uplifted, directed, and guided by me, the one who is caring for thee. For I say that I do not call thee to go in a way that will prove to be damnation, devastation, and despair. But I say that I call thee to come forth in the way that will prove to be eternal life unto thee. For I say it is me, the living God, who will give to thee the righteousness, the truth, the mercy, and the hope, the peace that I provide. And it is me, the living God, who will give to thee the light wherein you can be kept in the way, even though the world is full of darkness in these times. Now when you look upon the harlotress, the adulteress, the vile, the corrupt, what do you see? You see that it is me, the living God, who will indeed give unto them my wrath, my fury, my indignation revealed, and nothing shall stop them from the same. That is, not all of their money, their so-called fame, can keep them from my wrath revealed in their lives. And yes, it is true, there are multitudes of them who have been so proud and boastful in this life, who end in hell and will end in hell, because they sold out for the harlot's hire, because they gave themselves to the stupidity, the vanity of the world, because they sought the approval of man rather than to be approved of me. And I say they are destined to hell as their reward, because they departed from my way. I say, be thankful to be true, to be faithful unto me.